Here in North America, when you mention Eurovision, don't be shocked if people think that you're talking about the Will Ferrell Netflix movie. Or if they think that you're talking about some sort of new laser eye surgery. I've had that happen. And the sad thing is, even if they think that you're talking about that movie, they don't even know that a real-life Eurovision Song Contest exists. Welcome back to World with Sean. Make sure to smash the like button and click subscribe because today we're talking about that competition, the Eurovision Song Contest. While most Americans think that Europe's greatest exports include IKEA or Ozempic, it's really the Eurovision Song Contest, which is the largest non-sporting event in the world, garnering more views than the Super Bowl. That's right, across 69 years of competition, 52 countries have competed, around 1,700 songs have been sung, and today nearly 200 million people are entertained each year. The competition began in 1956 as a way to bring Europe back together after World War II. Inspired by Italy's San Remo Music Festival, the newly formed European Broadcasting Union, the EBU, wanted to use the power of live television, still a brand new technology at the time, to unite countries through music instead of conflict. Even Germany's representative at the very first Eurovision Song Contest, Walter Andreas Schwarz, was a Jewish Holocaust survivor. A powerful reminder of how fresh wounds of World War II still were, and how even countries at the heart of the conflict were using the contest to promote new beginnings. The first competition was hosted in neutral Switzerland, with just 7 countries competing, but has now grown into the world's largest cultural event. The rules are simple. Every song must be original and no longer than 3 minutes. Performances are limited to 6 people on stage. No animals are allowed, unless they're puppets, of course. And vocals must be performed live. So that's no lip singing. Sorry, Brittany. It's worth noting that there's also some gray areas when it comes to the rules. Technically, curse words are allowed at Eurovision, but the competition discourages profanity and can ask artists to censor their lyrics. This year, Malta submitted a song called Cunt, which means singing in Maltese. But since it sounded suspiciously close to an English curse word, the EBU demanded a lyric change. Now the song is simply called Serving. Speaking of pushing boundaries, this year Finland's act was basically told to tone down just how damn sexy the performance is. But again, it's a gray area, because last year performances like this no rules. It's how I live, how I find the will. And this made it on stage without any issue. Speaking of arbitrary standards, the contest prides itself on being apolitical, banning all political messaging in songs. But if you're creative enough, you could sneak it in and get away with it. In 2009, Georgia tried to send a song to Eurovision called We Don't Wanna Put In. We don't wanna put in. The negative mood is killing the crew. On the surface, it sounded like a harmless dance track, but the title and lyrics were a not-so-subtle jab at Vladimir Putin right after the Russia-Georgia war in 2008 when tensions were sky high. Eurovision took note of the subtle "we don't want Putin" message and told Georgia to change the lyrics or pick a new song. Georgia stood their ground and withdrew from the contest entirely. However, just 7 years later, the contest allowed a song from Ukraine about the deportation of Crimean Tatars by Stalin in 1944.
When strangers are coming, they come to your house, they kill you all and say we're not guilty.
And the song was called 1944. Very real political history and very pointed because it came right after Russia annexed Crimea in 2014. The song ended up winning the contest, and let's just say, Russia was not happy.
361 points, which is not enough to pass Ukraine.
Contestants are also prohibited from expressing political sentiments outside of their performance during the broadcast to avoid people voting for acts for reasons beyond the music itself. But it's happened. Like in 2019 when Hatari, the band representing Iceland, waved the Palestinian flag during the voting. It's worth noting that when they did this, the contest was actually hosted in Israel. and Eurovision reportedly fined Iceland's broadcaster 5,000 euros. But enough with the rules. You're probably wondering, how can a country like Israel, which is not even in Europe, compete in the first place? Well, so does Australia, and so has Morocco. But they only did that once, came second last, and said never again. The key here is you have to be a member of the European Broadcasting Union, which means all of these countries are eligible to compete. Even Lebanon in 2005 was set to compete, but ultimately they couldn't assure that they would broadcast the entire contest, including the Israeli entry without interruption, and so they announced their withdrawal from the contest as Lebanese legislation prohibited the broadcast of Israeli content on Lebanese television networks. Out of all the countries that have competed, the countries that have won the most include Ireland and Sweden, which have 7 wins under their belt, followed by France, Luxembourg, the UK, and the Netherlands with 5 wins, Israel with 4 wins, and Norway, Denmark, Italy, Ukraine, and Switzerland with 3 wins. And for some winners, the contest has catapulted them into superstardom, creating some of the best-selling musical artists of our time, like ABBA, who won for Sweden in 1974. Or Celine Dion, who won for Switzerland in 1988. Despite her being Canadian, and as a Canadian I will never fail to mention that as a point of pride. There's also Måneskin, I'm begging you, who won in 2021 for and Katrina and the Waves, who won for the UK in 1997. But as we all know, winning isn't everything. Other famous acts have competed, like Olivia Newton-John for the UK, Julio Iglesias for Spain. He's a huge deal in the Spanish world, and yes, for the younger viewers, that is the father of Enrique Iglesias. Bonnie Tyler for the UK. Cascada for Germany. 'Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I could fly. Flow Rider for San Marino. Andrew Lloyd Webber for the UK, and even the great Engelbert Humperdinck, which, yes, that is the best name of all time, but aside from that, if you don't know who he is, your grandparents likely do. Today, the Eurovision Song Contest has transformed into a 3-show competition, 2 semifinals, and 1 grand final. All countries except the Big 5, which are France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the United Kingdom, must compete in the semifinals. The Big 5 automatically qualify for the final because they contribute a lot financially to the contest. In each semifinal, viewers vote, and the top 10 countries advance to the final based purely on televoting. In the grand final, every country uses a 50-50 split between a professional jury and a public televote to decide the points. The country with the highest combined score wins. The cultural impact of the contest is so widespread and impactful that you could be a nobody living in Moldova and become one of the largest internet memes in history. You can come dead last in the competition, but have a song that literally triggers a revolution in its home country, which helped to end decades of dictatorship. And you could foster such an inclusive and accepting environment that it inspires songs with titles like Marry Me, which was accompanied by a performance with same-sex kisses that stirred national debates about marriage equality, and even sparked dialogue that helped to push countries like Finland toward legalizing same-sex marriage. And folks, that is just a Sparks Notes summary of the Eurovision Song Contest. Because trust me, the contest is bigger, weirder, and better than anything I could fit into one YouTube video. This year it's happening in Basel, Switzerland this May, because the way that the competition works is the country that won the competition the previous year gets the opportunity to host it the following year. And if you want to dive into the madness of Eurovision 2025, make sure to like this video so I show up on your feed, click the subscribe button, push the notification bell, because I guarantee you, it's a wild ride. If you have any questions about the Eurovision Song Contest, don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section below, and I will try to answer each and every one of them. And in the meantime, if you're interested to see who is representing what country and what their song's all about, YouTube is a great resource to check out all of that information. All right, that's it for now, but I'll catch you later. Goodbye.